When you're looking for KitchenAid innovation and quality, who has the answers, the selection, the price? Ventura TV Appliance. With billions in nationwide appliance buying power, more than Home Depot and Best Buy combined, we'll help you save. Our low prices on Energy Star qualified KitchenAid appliances save you energy and money, and pay no interest on select models when paid in full within 12 months. Ventura TV Appliance, serving you since 1951.
Hi, I'm John Mallows. Welcome to this live edition of Connect with Me on the showroom floor at Ventura TV on this day. Today we're going to take you out to the Castle Air Museum, a big event going out there on Sunday, and then the following weekend is a big fundraiser. You can call in at 436-ME-TV, option 11, 2 guests, actually 3 guests coming up in the studio today on Connect with Me. It is a Your Community Day right here on Connect with Me, and you're watching us live on Comcast Channel 187, and you are also watching us on 43.6. And don't forget about the additions that we made, 13.1, that's also Me TV. And then you can watch the replay today at 1 o'clock in the afternoon on one of your favorite stations, 13.6, that would be YouTube, and at Biz TV at 8 o'clock, 13.5 is also the replay. A couple of sports notes here. Hey, the Raiders play tonight against the Seattle Seahawks, and we'll be watching for Derek Carr. He's expected to play much of tonight's game. We'll see. He had that concussion just a couple of weeks back, see how he does. And then, of course, Fresno State plays against USC at the Coliseum on Saturday. That is the season opener for the Fresno State Bulldogs. So today is Your Community Day, as mentioned. 436-ME-TV, option 11. I want to get right to this. As you know, if you watch this program from time to time, you know we like to honor veterans. That's one of our favorite things to do here on this program. And today, my friends, is no different. Let's roll the videotape. I want to take you up Highway 99, about 45 minutes north of here. It's Castle Air Museum. That's where they have on display numerous U.S. warplanes from the past. They've been restored, and now they are being preserved so you, the viewing public, can get a chance to look at history in the making. But it costs money to keep these gems in viewing condition and to keep the museum going, and that's why this place relies heavily on donations. They rely heavily on daily admissions, and of course, fundraisers. Next weekend, next Saturday, September the 6th, is a big one. It takes place at the museum itself. It's called Thanks for the Memories, a salute to the greatest generation. The master of ceremonies on that one is going to be Bill Johnson. He's kind of a Bob Hope look-alike, a little bit. He impersonates Bob Hope. He's a little bit, well, I guess you could say he sounds like Bob Hope, too, to a certain extent. Of course, comedian Bob Hope entertained the troops for many, many, many decades here and overseas in those famous USO shows that we all watched growing up. The museum is one of the largest on the West Coast, if not the country. It opened up 32 years ago, my friends. This is some of what you might see inside that museum. It's absolutely gorgeous, and if you go outside the museum, you'll see all the planes. This place opened up July 18th, 1981, and since then, it has expanded. Live in our studio now is Barbara Hoffman. She is the co-chair of that fundraiser called Thanks for the Memories program, and Joe Pruzzo, who is the executive director or the CEO of the Castle Air Museum. He's been here before. He's a return guest. We're going to talk about this Bob Hope event coming up, not this weekend, but the following weekend, this coming Sunday. They also have an event coming up. We'll talk about that, and you are welcome to call in. We'll also have a third guest coming up in the second half hour of the program. He's the big band leader. Hey, so it's an exciting day here on the show. 436-ME-TV, option 11. Do call in. Do turn down the sound. Back in a moment.
Frigidaire. We introduced the first home freezer, the first pulsator agitator washer, And now we introduce the Frigidaire Orbit Clean dishwasher, designed with a unique wash arm that gives you 4 times more water coverage for a consistently better clean. Frigidaire, over 90 years of legendary innovation.
See the full line of Frigidaire appliances at Ventura TV Electronics and Appliances.
So we all remember, well, at least some of us do, anybody that's my age remembers Bob Hope and some of those shows that he did, all the Christmas specials with the troops, not only overseas, but he entertained the troops right here in this country as well. Barbara Hoffman is here. Thanks for the memories. You're the, what, the co-chair or whatever that is?
That's right, yes.
What does that mean? What does that mean?
That means that another lady and I are working in our committee, working diligently to get this thing put together.
And Joe Pruzzo, you're a return guest, so you're the executive director of the museum, right?
Correct, yes.
All right.
Great to be here, John.
Oh, it's good to see you back here again. So, hey, let's talk about this event that takes place on Sunday real quick.
Sure.
Because the doors open at, what, 9 o'clock?
9 a.m., gates open at 9 a.m.,
Yep.
and of course they close at 5 p.m.
It's called Cockpit Day, right?
Right, Open Cockpit Day, and what that means basically is that approximately 35 of the museum's 60 display aircraft will be open for viewing. There will be flight simulators available for the first time, bounce houses for kids, great food, a food court. There will also be helicopter rides, a make and take model building, aircraft model building provided by a hobby club here in Fresno.
Oh, okay.
So there'll be a lot of things, some vintage military vehicles, law enforcement displays.
Okay, let's roll the tape on
really
the outside of the museum so we can see some of those vintage planes there.
Sure.
You can look up on the monitor up there on your screen and take a look at some of the planes that we're going to be taking a look at here. There's one of them right there, Joe.
Right, yes. That's a World War II B-24 Liberator. Very, very rare. There's about 16 in existence right now. And what's really ironic, it was the most mass-produced plane of the war. Over 18,000 built.
Wow. I'm getting dizzy watching this, but it's okay. We should have slowed this down. Slow motion. But what's that right there?
That is a KC-97 tanker. It was the forerunner to today's jet tankers, also on display at the museum. That was flown in 1980-81 time period.
Here's another one.
Yes, that aircraft right there, another World War II aircraft, the B-25 Mitchell. And what's famous about that is General Doolittle took 16 of those off of an aircraft carrier 4 months after Pearl Harbor to attack the Japanese homeland.
Yeah, and
so it's very apropos as showing these World War II aircraft, especially with the Thanks for the Memories event coming up, the week after Open Cockpit.
Yeah, that's the big fundraiser coming up the following week. And here's another plane right here.
Yep.
What is it?
That's a jet bomber, first jet bomber. That's a British Vulcan bomber in the back. Goes along with the B-52 time period. Some very, very iconic aircraft and artifacts out here on the grounds. You have a cargo transport aircraft there, and that's, we caught a glimpse of the B-52 there, but that's a drone right there. About the size of the engine on that's about the size of your lawnmower.
Yeah,
engine.
yeah.
So,
yeah. So when you say open cockpit, what does that mean?
it means the aircraft are open for viewing. We
You
have
can actually get in the cockpit?
actually cannot get in the cockpit and sit down since they are artifacts.
Really?
What you can do, we have stands that were specially manufactured. You can get up on the stand, look in the cockpit, and have a docent there who's very knowledgeable. Maybe he or she flew that aircraft or maintained it, and will tell you all the inner workings of the aircraft.
Yeah.
So it's something you cannot do 363 days out of the year when you come to the museum.
Okay.
It's only twice a year. This is the one time. This is the fall open
Hey, you get up on a ladder or something?
It's actually a stand that's manufactured by either our restoration volunteers or by some of the local schools and their metal shops and fabrication shops.
Some of those planes, how high off the ground are the cockpits? They're pretty high, like 35 feet high, maybe?
No. It
20?
depends. You
25?
may have, like, for a fighter or trainer, you may be 5 or 6 feet off the ground.
All right, here's a plane. We got a lot of stills right here. Barbara, we're going to enter you into the conversation here in just a moment. But so what are we looking at there?
You're looking at a British Vulcan bomber, one of only 4 on display in North America. Castle was the first museum to receive one outside of Great Britain.
Yeah, and
again,
another plane here.
Yes, the F-15 Eagle. That aircraft is currently being flown by the 144th Air Guard out at Fresno Yosemite International. That aircraft right there came to us several years ago, and it was restored by our volunteers and is in pristine condition.
It looks like it.
Yeah.
It looks like it. And so, Barbara, your event, as we continue to look at some of these planes here, they're absolutely gorgeously restored and preserved for the viewing public. Your event is a fundraiser to try to keep the museum going and preserve some of the planes. Is that right?
That's correct, yes. Takes
talk
money to
about
do
that.
that.
What's that?
Yeah, I say it takes money to keep these airplanes going like they are. We have a wonderful crew of volunteers, but we need money too. So.
Yeah, lots of money.
Oh, yes.
To keep it going.
Yes.
I know. All right, caller, you're on the air. Go ahead.
Man, I'm glad that you have returned the Castle people to the show. It was a pleasure this last time that you had them on, and I'm thrilled that you're having them on again. And what a resource we've got right there in Atwater. It's about an hour drive from Fresno. Terrific footage too. Great to look at that. Hey, I remember that I wanted to ask this when your guest was on the last time. Remember some time ago there was a story circulating about maybe a poltergeist, some haunting. Of course, all of the tragedies that occurred in the skies over Europe and Asia during World War II. I know that some of those planes had to be cobbled together from various pieces and stuff. This is what I've read over the years in the Bee and other places. Is there any, can you validate or refute that rumor that one or more of those big bombers could be haunted? Is it true?
I have to say that the only one bomber that we have on display that has been reportedly haunted is the B-29, which was basically constructed from 3 different airframes. Mm-hmm. I personally
haunted in what way?
Visions of an airman in his fatigues, visions of lights.
People have seen visions of this guy?
It's been reported that there have been visions near or on this plane through
Have you seen any of these visions here?
I have not.
You haven't?
No,
I have not either. I have never had any instance that with anything paranormal. So I personally can say I've never had any experience.
Well, you know what we can do? I can call my buddy out there in Sanger. He's you might call him the Ghostbusters of 2014. He goes around and checks for ghosts, so we can send him your way up to Atwater.
Sure.
Yeah, no, I'm serious.
Absolutely,
I'm
absolutely.
serious. There is a guy up there that I forget what the name of the organization is. I got to look him up, but yeah, he actually looks to see if there's any paranormal activity in the room or in the building, whatever he might be checking.
Certainly, yeah. They did the restoration crew in the tail section. I was told when they were reassembling the airplane, did find a set of dog tags.
Really?
So but like I say, I have not had a personal instance with that. So.
Okay. Well, we can only go by rumors, and
Absolutely.
Everybody has an opinion about these things, right?
Oh, sure.
All right, 436 MeTV option 11. You're watching us on Comcast channel 187, 43.6, and now 13.1. We're back here on the program in just a moment.
Considering solar? Whether you're ready to buy now or just exploring your options, the consultants at Solar Negotiators are here to help you. A call to Solar Negotiators is like calling 5 solar companies at once. You see, when local established solar contractors have gaps in their schedule, they call Solar Negotiators to fill them. Right now, get 5 years of panel cleaning and maintenance or $1,000 off your new solar panels. So stop wasting your time searching and call Solar Negotiators, because when contractors compete for your business, you win.
All right, we're back here on the program, and as mentioned here, we've expanded to an hour, of course. So we did that a while back. We're here until 11 o'clock. A couple of guests here in the studio, and we're going to bring one more in later in the program. He's a big band leader here, and he's going to be at the big event on September the 6th. So I want to talk about this guy, Bill Johnson. He is the master of ceremonies at your event on September the 6th. We have some footage of him entertaining and impersonating Bob Hope. We all know what Bob Hope did. No explanation needed, except to our floor director over there. She doesn't know who Bob Hope is, but that's okay. It's okay. It's a generational thing. I mean, Bob Hope died when? I don't recall.
I think he died in the early 2000s.
Early
maybe,
2000s,
something
yeah.
like
Remember the
that,
Bob
yeah.
Hope Desert Classic, of course.
Oh,
and
absolutely.
all of those USO shows he did overseas and then here. And I remember the Bob Hope Christmas Classic when he entertained a lot of people and then introduced the All-America football team.
Yep.
So what an entertainer during his and my generation. But this guy, Bill Johnson, I guess he thinks he's Bob Hope. I don't know.
Well, he certainly acts like it when
He certainly, yeah,
when
he
he's
acts,
on.
and he kind of looks like him too a little bit, doesn't he?
Yes, he does.
So where'd you find this guy?
Actually, we found him through the internet. We were looking
You
for.
did.
We were
you
looking
just
for.
Googled Bob Hope, and this
Right.
guy came up.
We were looking for a Bob Hope impersonator for our event because we wanted to make it like a USO show, and we found him.
So he said yes, obviously, and was it a quick response, or did he hesitate?
No, I don't believe he hesitated at all.
No, he didn't say, well, how much money am I getting paid? Or
Well, we negotiated.
we
but
negotiated. All right. I want to play a clip, and then we'll talk about
Okay.
that. Bill Johnson impersonating the one and only Bob Hope.
I say, I sure enjoy entertaining the troops at the holidays. Yeah, I just flew in on a wing and a prayer. I was on the wing because the girls in the show told me I didn't have a prayer. And you know what? We'd do shows wherever the troops were stationed. I mean, we played a show so close to enemy lines, if you made an exit stage left, you got captured. The coldest show we ever did was in Thule, Greenland. It was 750 miles north of the Arctic Circle. At showtime, they told me it was 36 below. Below what? I don't know, because my thermometer went AWOL. It was so cold, I had to untie my tie with an ice pick. Ooh. You don't like the cold jokes either, do you? So, where was I now? Oh, yeah. You know, the soldiers get lonesome up there. In fact, anytime a lone wolf starts howling, it starts a community sing-along. I met one guy who was so lonesome he started dating his tattoo. Don't laugh. His friends were saying, does she have a sister? But it's great to be here in Las Vegas at the holidays. Las Vegas has got so much atmosphere. Every restaurant is atmosphere. I went to dinner the other night and Maitre D said, would you like to sit next to a palm tree or a waterfall? Next to a balmy breeze or a babbling brook? Next to a rainstorm, firestorm, hailstorm, thunderstorm, flash flood, hurricane, or a volcano? I said, put me by the weatherman so I'll know what's going to happen next.
So does this guy play Vegas? Is that it?
he actually resides in Vegas, so I imagine he does.
So he does a lot of Vegas shows.
I
Do you
would
think
think
he
so.
kind of looks like him a little bit?
Oh, I do,
yes.
really.
Yeah, a little bit, and with his mannerisms, kind of. I guess that's kind of a work of art to be able to do that.
I think you hit it right on the head. It is a work of art.
Yeah. So why this fundraiser? This is the first of its kind for the Castle Air Museum. First time you've ever attempted this. And talk about how much tickets are, what time the event starts, how many you're planning for. We don't know how many are going to show up, but and where people can get the tickets for this show that's coming up.
Okay. Our event is, as you said, on next Saturday, the 6th of September. The gates open at 5:30 in the evening. We will have entertainment from the get-go. We have some singing, we have the band, we have Bob Hope, we have the whole gamut of entertainment. So it'll be an entertaining evening. There really isn't much downtime at all, I don't think. Dinner's at 7, and we have dancing. We have a dance floor. Tickets for the event are $60 each and can be purchased through the Air Museum, or actually there's a phone
Is
number.
there a phone number you can give to us? Go
Yes,
ahead.
it's the 209. I gave it to you yesterday, did you?
You
I'm
want me
sorry.
to, you want me to
Yeah, do
dig
you
it
have
out?
Please, please.
Okay, you can't remember the number?
No, it's not my
Barbara.
number, so
Barbara. Okay, let me dig it out here. But anyway, so tickets, yeah, 209-617-9171. That's 209, write it down slowly, 209-617-9171 if you want tickets to this event. Where will it be held specifically?
Actually, it's going to be held right out on the flight line, so it'll be right out on
At
the
Castle
flight line.
Air
Yes,
Museum.
there'll be
Okay.
airplanes right there. Big
So you're going to set up
C-130.
tables and...
Tables are going to be right on the concrete. There's going to be a big C-130 with its tail towards us. The band's
An
going to be
open
underneath.
bar, too?
It's a non-hosted bar. It's
Non-hosted bar. Okay.
Right.
All right. And so how many people are you expecting at that time?
We're expecting we're going to be setting up for 400 people. We have 400 tickets. If we sell those 400, that's it. So we have space for 400 right now. And like I said, it's right at the terminal building out at the airport.
And you mentioned last time you were here, Joe, you received no government funding for the Castle Air Museum, so you totally rely on events like what Barbara's doing.
Absolutely. On the events like the Thanks for the Memories and an open cockpit, those fundraisers are crucial to us.
Yeah,
we receive no government support.
Put up some of the photos, if you will, of some of these planes. The purpose of the event, first fundraiser since 2009, is to do what as we look at some of these planes?
Well,
where does that money go?
It goes into maintaining the museum, maintaining the aircraft, maintaining the grounds.
What do you have to do to maintain the planes since they're not flying?
Well, since they're not flying, you know, unlike a flying airplane, when it rains or when water comes in, water will pool up inside certain areas of the wings or whatever. So, you know, as much as we try, there is still some corrosion that's incurred. Metal has to be replaced. Paint has to be redone. You know, and the display areas, maybe some new rock has to be put in, some new posts or chains. So all these things, and also maintaining the pathways. You know, the pathways are paved, so you get depressions in those, and we've identified some pathways that need repairing, so we can better accommodate our elderly and folks to come out and enjoy these sentinels of our past, our history.
Right, and you also cater to those that might be in wheelchairs.
Absolutely,
right?
Absolutely. We have scooters that they can take, and wheelchairs, golf. You know, we will, if there's several, one of us employees will take them around on a golf cart. So again, if a golf cart breaks, we need to maintain it. If a scooter, a handicapped scooter breaks, we need to repair it. So we can offer that to the handicapped or to special needs people.
So it's all handicap accessible.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, no problem there.
No,
okay.
no.
I think we have to take a break here on Connect With Me, but as we take a look at these planes, can't get enough of these photos. We're going to continue with our program here on Connect With Me. 436-ME-TV option 11. Call in if you got a question about the Castle Air Base. Hey, right down the street here on Highway 99, about 45 minutes north. A big fundraiser coming up. Back in a moment.
Don't you ever hit me again!
Chief, I think we got a hit on our
Me TV Fresno, now on Comcast Channel 187.
Back here on the program, talking about the Castle Air Museum, and I mentioned in the monologue, Joe, that this is one of the largest museums in California, if not the largest. And do you know that for a fact? And do you know for a fact that it's maybe one of the largest in the entire country?
It definitely ranks up there. It is the largest between Southern California, San Diego, Los Angeles, and Seattle, Washington. So, and it's really been through the blood, sweat, and tears, if you will, of the volunteer effort, the business community, individuals who wanted to see these items saved, many of which are in the single digits in existence anymore.
And like you said last time when you were here, many of these planes, and we can take a look at them again, and we never get tired of looking at these planes because these planes help save us from from the likes of Hitler during World War II. These planes actually saved this country.
Absolutely.
Or at least they helped in their own way.
They did. You know, it's a tribute not only to the men who flew them, but the men and women who designed, built them, maintained them. You know, a tribute also to the home front. Many people don't realize that this country built 300,000 airplanes during World War II.
And you have how many on display here?
We have 60, and they range from pre-World War II on up through current.
How many did they make during World War II?
The United States built 300,000 airplanes during World War II.
Okay, 300,000.
Right.
Okay, during the war.
During the war.
Okay,
right.
And you have 60 on. So you obtain these planes how?
Many are on indefinite loan from the United States Air Force Museum and the United States, or the Naval Museum, National Museum of Naval Aviation.
But these, in many cases, had to be dismantled and then transported here.
Correct.
Is that right?
Disassembled, transported over road, and reassembled and restored
on the base itself.
On the base itself, yeah.
By experts, obviously.
Expert volunteers, you bet. Many
volunteer mechanics.
They're volunteers, you bet.
Really? They don't get paid?
No, they sure don't. They do it for the love of it. They do it for the dedication of it. I would say probably better than 90% of what people see are the fruits of the volunteer labor that we have.
That's
and
amazing.
The talent that we have.
Can't get enough of these planes. But
right.
Barbara, this event, why this type of an event as a fundraiser? The last fundraiser you had was in 2009. Why this type of an event? Why did you think this might work, this Thanks for the Memories thing?
Well, it fits in with the museum and all the airplanes and the people that were flying those airplanes. That's what they went through, as the USO shows, and we just thought it would be a fun evening, too, for all of us.
How much money or do you hope to raise with this one event? And Joe, how long is this money going to go? How long can you stretch this out? I mean, $60 a pop, and you're hoping for 400. I guess we can do the math on that. But are you expecting more than 400?
No, 400 is our limit. We do have available sponsorship tables that are a little bit more than the $60 a ticket. We also have donations. We're accepting donations and have received several donations from different businesses and individuals in the area that just want to support the museum.
And the money that you'll raise here at this event will stretch out how long, Joe?
Hopefully several months.
Okay.
You know, it's important for people to know, just to keep the museum operating, and that's no extra aircraft exhibits, no extra improvements, for a very, very small staff, plus utilities, insurance, liabilities. It's about $25,000 a month just to keep the doors open.
25 grand a month?
Absolutely.
Okay.
You know?
Now, on Sunday or any time during the week, including during your fundraising event on September the 6th, will they be able to take a tour of Air Force One that's also at the Air Museum?
Well, they will be able to take tours of Air Force One. It will be open to go through on this Sunday, the 31st of August. It'll be open all day. We'll actually have a shuttle bus from the museum down the flight line to go through it, and it'll be volunteer tour guides aboard. And of course, the evening of the Thanks for the Memories, it will serve as one of the backdrop aircraft for the event. It won't be open, but it will be out there.
Yeah. Now, this plane still runs. You can still fly this, right?
Technically, we could, yes, because it flew in less than a year ago. So.
Yeah, that's exactly right. And we're looking at some top secret documents there inside Air Force One.
Yeah.
So who flew in this plane? What presidents?
President Reagan and President Clinton both personally flew in the airplane. Every vice president, from Walter Mondale to Dick Cheney, flew in the airplane. And every first lady, from Mrs. Rosalind Carter to Laura Bush, plus Secretary of Defense Weinberger, CIA Director Gates, and a whole myriad of other dignitaries. And, you know, this airplane served the presidential fleet for approximately 30 years.
Yeah,
so, and it's
pretty
been
amazing.
Been throughout North, Central, and South America, Europe, and been into Moscow a couple times.
Oh, it has?
It has, yeah.
Yeah. So you obtained this plane about a year ago, a little less than a year ago. How did that come about?
Well, we got a phone call from the General Services Administration. The museum is, as a nonprofit organization, is eligible to receive federal surplus property. And when we were contacted, we were told that we have a former presidential aircraft we would really think should be in your museum, which is a great honor. So we immediately went to work. We actually received a donation of fuel from the fuel supplier on the field in Arizona, which is about 3,000 gallons. Do the math, times about $6 a gallon.
Wow.
And then, of course, a lot of donation in labor from TBM Aviation, which is on Castle and has workers in Arizona. Got the airplane ready for a ferry flight and approval from the FAA. And then 2 current pilots who were current and in the DC-9 type to fly the aircraft up to Castle.
Yeah, and so that's how you obtained. But did you have to make a bid for it?
We had to submit a letter of intent, and when you submit a letter of intent, that essentially makes it locks it up for you in the state of California, where your home state is. Does not include the other 49 states. So I thought, well, okay, great, we have it locked up for California, but there's 49 other states to compete with. Well, actually came down to the competition became California and Arizona, and we made a good case for it. Also found out we are working with the Reagan Library, since the Reagans did use this aircraft quite a bit. The aircraft originally was, the Reagan Library was interested in the aircraft. But they didn't have the room.
One on hand already, I believe, at the Reagan Library.
They do. They have the 707, which is the bigger aircraft. But they didn't have enough room up at the library, so they were extremely elated that we have the aircraft. So we're doing a lot of work.
They have a 707. You have a
DC-9.
A DC-9.
Right.
Okay, so
and
big
it was,
difference.
Well, yeah, it was used a lot to fly shorter flights or into smaller airfields where they could not get the bigger airplanes.
Yeah. And this is a tour inside. There's a picture, of course, of the Clintons there, and I believe the Bushes. I see the Bushes there.
Yes, the Bushes.
Yeah, and Reagan on the left, far left.
Right.
So it takes a little bit of time, effort, and money to maintain this plane as well.
Absolutely, absolutely.
How do you move an aircraft like that?
Oh, with a big tug and a tow bar. It's on wheels, so it'll move fairly easily.
Right. All right, talking to Joe Pruzzo and Barbara Hoffman, a big event coming up there September the 6th out at the Castle Air Museum. 436-ME-TV, option 11, if you want to call in, ask any questions to Joe or Barbara about the event or anything else. We're back in just a moment.
When you like Ventura TV Appliance on Facebook, it's nice. But when you love the Samsung big screen we deliver, it's even better. Our website is cool, and it's a good place to start. But you really should touch the merchandise before you buy.
Time for that upgrade to an HD 3D web-enabled Samsung TV.
Get the best selection, price, and service in town without waiting. Come in to Ventura TV Appliance and touch the merchandise today.
Here today.
Hey, it's great to be here in Paris. I think this Veterans Memorial is going to be great. It's going to be a super way to pay tribute to all these men and women who served around here, who came from the Red River Valley area.
Retrospective. So thanks so much for coming to Paris, and we're glad to have you here. We're really looking forward to the show and be able to show it to the veterans after you're done.
Well, hey, it's my pleasure to be here. And Bob would always say thanks for the memories, but hey, he also said, hey, thanks a million. Actually, my flight was very nice, but the plane was rather old. In fact, the pilot sat behind me wearing goggles and a scarf. This plane was so old that Lindbergh's lunch was still on the seat. Hey, I want to thank the Red River Valley Veterans Memorial for providing my transportation today. I really enjoyed that ride over from the airport. I only fell off the handlebars twice. And you know how they sometimes give important people an escort of 2 police officers riding ahead of you on a motorcycle? Well, ahead of me, I had 2 red hat ladies riding pogo sticks. But I gotta tell you, this is so nice here today. Be sure you take advantage of the Kelly Miller Circus back there in the Donut Valley and get something to eat, would you? You know, I just got back from D.C. earlier this week and I thought I was gonna starve to death. I went to a chicken dinner, I didn't even get a wing. I was seated next to a senator and he refused to pass anything.
You know, I guess in Las Vegas you'll see anything. You'll see Elvis impersonators, right? That's the most common. But this is the first for a Bob Hope that I've seen. But in Vegas you'll find just about anything. You can probably find somebody imitating or impersonating Joe Pruzzo in Vegas, right?
Oh, hope not.
Sure, I'm sure.
He's coming in. Bill Johnson impersonates Bob Hope, typical holding the golf club out there like he used to do during those USO shows. Have you met him in person yet?
No, I have not met him.
Oh, you haven't? This is
No.
just like over the phone deal?
Right. Internet and the
Internet
phone.
and over the phone. You talk to him.
Right.
Yeah. So what kind of a guy did he sound like on the phone? Did he sound like Bob Hope on the phone?
Well, he has a voice too of his own, but
Yeah.
you know, he can get into character easily.
Yeah, he really can. So who thought of this idea? You?
Me and my co-chairman here, we kind of got together and decided that it would be a good idea to do it. So, just
Yeah. So you're kind of the co-chair as well?
No,
Oh,
I'm
you're
not. It's
Okay.
another Barbara. Barbara Williams is the
Okay.
co-chair, and
Okay.
so
When she came to you with the idea, your thoughts were?
great. I think it was great. You know, we've been
Yeah.
trying to think of something like this, but again, you know, the staff has limited boots on the ground, so we would depend on our board members and to form committees and to do these things, and we're there for support.
You got to have
But-
somebody cater the event, right?
Absolutely.
Costs money to do that. So it's not a cheap proposition, but
No.
let's hope. You know, are you hoping to draw from the younger generation as well as
certainly.
maybe the World War II generation or even my generation?
right, certainly we are open for everybody, but as you say, not too many people that are younger remember Bob Hope. So there's a little
Right.
education that needs to be done there. But
How
yeah,
are you advertising?
We have advertisements in the newspaper. We have both newspapers that cover our area, also through the TV and through programs such as yours, which we appreciate the opportunity.
But are you hoping to draw people from more than just your area in Atwater and Merced? Are you hoping to draw from outside the area, like
Oh.
Fresno, Visalia, Bakersfield?
Definitely. Anybody that wants to come and have a good time can.
But how are these
join
people
us.
going to find out about your event outside the area?
Right, through opportunities such as this, and like I say, we are doing some TV ads. We have newspapers and flyers, and
Yeah,
a lot of word of mouth.
yeah, it is. It is a
Yeah.
lot of word of mouth. There's no question
And the
about
internet.
that. And the internet. So
Yes.
you're advertising on the internet a little bit too,
Right,
huh?
we're on the website and
Right.
and through the chambers of commerce up there, and
Is this a common practice, Joe, for air museums to hold fundraisers like this?
Absolutely. Yeah, absolutely. Most air museums are nonprofits.
And they
And-
do not get government assistance
No.
at any
No.
level?
No.
Okay. And so when you talk about the planes, do you make school visits to talk about what's at the Castle Air Museum? Do you educate children that maybe they should know about what happened in World War II and what planes were used?
Certainly. Yeah.
How do you do that? Let's talk about that as we take a look at some more planes here at the museum.
We actually have an outreach to schools that we are really ramping up. A matter of fact, our curator actually
Planes? Do we have planes?
actually will go out and talk to high schools, middle schools, and so on to educate those in U.S. history classes about what happened, about the importance of the planes, about the history and coming out. We also have a lot of young children that come out for field trips. I think we've had about 1,500 to 1,600 children come out, school children, for field trips, and we have
Oh, I see.
docents and tour guides that that lead them around. And you know, when the students start their field trip, they might not know what Pearl Harbor was. They might not know what Vietnam was. But when they leave, they have a better understanding of what took place and when, and the importance of what these aircraft and men and women did.
Caller, go ahead.
I got a cousin that's getting married, and he's going to ship off for the Air Force, coincidentally. I got a question for your guests. If they wanted to have an Air Force theme wedding, do you have a wedding venue, or do you have facility to accommodate a large party that, well, like a wedding party type of thing? Can that be done if I could talk them into it?
Well, actually, you don't have to do much talking. We offer our grounds for weddings. We've had many weddings. We've had high school proms on our grounds,
Really?
and it's a very unique venue. So you know, when you talk about a large party, you're talking about 100 people, or I don't know, but we do offer offer our grounds.
What do you charge for an event like that? Let's say I wanted to rent the grounds
It's
out there for
I
an
think
event.
we charge, I believe it's $15 a head.
Okay.
Because we have to have employees there to assist and monitor things and lock up after. But
sure.
But yes, we do have our grounds available, and we do have a banquet room that'll seat about 80 people as well.
Oh, you do?
Yeah.
A banquet room on the grounds?
Yeah, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So.
All right. Hey, we're talking with Joe Pruzzo and Barbara Hoffman here about this event that takes place on September the 6th, and it's Open Cockpit Sunday, this coming Sunday. But the big event is September the 6th. Starts at what time, Barbara?
5:30.
5:30 in the evening. It's a big fundraiser for the Castle Air Museum. Joe's going to step out. We'll have another guest here. Join Barbara Hoffman on our program. Connect with me in just a moment.
From now on, when I sneeze, I'll try to sneeze more friendly.
When you like Ventura TV Appliance on Facebook, it's nice. But when you love the Frigidaire Gallery appliances we deliver, it's even better. Our website is cool, and it's a good place to start. But you really should touch the merchandise before you buy.
Time for that upgrade to an Energy Star qualified French door Frigidaire Gallery refrigerator. Quality appliances for the way you live.
Get the best selection, price, and service in town without waiting. Come in to Ventura TV Appliance and touch the merchandise.
Talking about the big fundraiser at Castle Air Museum that takes place on September the 6th, and you can call in if you got any questions, 436-ME-TV, option 11. We're joined by Gus Wedemeyer. He is the band leader. You're going to be at the event, right, with your big band? Talk about your band and what it is.
Absolutely, John.
I know it's a big band, but
it's a big band, yeah.
How big is it?
It is so big
that it won't fit in this room.
That's right, exactly.
How many members of the band?
It's based on a standard big band formation, 18 guys.
Oh.
5 saxes.
No women? No women?
Whoa, boy, we got women.
Okay.
I'm telling you, we got women.
You do?
4 trombones, 4 trumpets, and a rhythm section.
Okay.
Our female vocalist, Laura Brady, will be down there.
There you go.
So, yeah, she'll be singing all the standards, and we'll just be swinging. It's pretty much
it's a
all
swing band. Is it a swing band?
It's set up as a swing band, and what we're bringing is period swing pieces for this show. It's all.
And so you are the band director.
I am the band director.
Which means you get up there with one of those batons and you go like this?
Oh, you know, no, I don't bring a baton with me. I pretty much, yes.
You're not like Lawrence Swelk then, huh? You're not like...
we don't say that around. Yeah, we don't use that terminology. We're gonna
I'm not trying to put an age on you. I'm just
no. For John, for this event particularly, we're going to bring stuff from the Glenn Miller. For those of you who remember Bob Hope, unlike your producer, might remember Glenn Miller or Benny Goodman.
Yeah.
The Dorseys.
Before my time, but I know who they are.
Exactly. So, so that's the kind of thing we're going to focus on for this event. All World War II era, good old swing. Johnny come home.
You know what the younger generation will say. Those in their 20s. You know what they're going to say. You know what they would say. When they listen to your band, they're going to like start snoozing. They're going to fall asleep. But this was the big band era that kept everybody, you know, it's
the big band era. I don't think you're going to snooze much with this band.
No, I'm talking about the younger generation. I'm talking about the hip hoppers and those in their 20s.
But John, you know, there's also a big swing revival, swing dancing revival among the 20 and 30
I like the big
somethings.
band sound myself.
But it's all that good swing, solid big band swing stuff. We did an event up in Alameda's where we're from. On the Hornet aircraft carrier, we did a sock hop night, and it was just all swing music.
That's in Oakland, right?
It's off Alameda.
Off
Alameda.
Yeah.
But yes, Oakland area. And we had 500 20s and 30-something swing dancers. They came out and just cut a rug to all this music.
What age group? Come on.
20s 20-somethings and 30-somethings.
I don't believe it.
Dressed to the nines in zoot suits
it.
and feathered chapeaus, and you wouldn't believe it.
I don't believe it. Let's take a listen and a look at Gus Wedemeyer and his big band. It's going to be there on September the 6th at Castle Air Museum. Hey, that was your band playing on the USS Hornet, and that was you playing the trumpet there in the white coat.
It was.
See, I didn't see you having a baton. That was you in the trumpet.
No, that's why the white coat.
The white coat.
Yeah.
Yeah, so you stand
Much
out like
more
a sore
effective.
thumb.
Exactly.
That's right. That's the whole point.
Thanks
they
for that.
They have to see you.
I resemble that remark. Yes.
Well, you have to stand out. You have to stand out. You're the band leader. So what does a band leader do?
Oh my gosh, John! You know you've got 17 guys that it's like.
And girls.
And girls. Although this group, was mostly the guys. But you're like a wrangler. A lot of the time.
You're reining them in?
You're reining them in, and you're keeping them on track. But you're also you're working with the crowd, and you're just.
So do you think that
both sides of the stage?
Do you think there are those out there that are in their 20s and 30s that have not come out of the closet yet in terms of admitting to the world that they love big band and the sound?
Couldn't say how many.
Out there.
Couldn't say how many are still in the closet, John. But we certainly met a good crowd of them. I'm telling you, they were really eating it up.
So what era? What years are we talking about? Big band was what?
Well, gosh, it
post
goes
World War II.
Well, it goes back into the 30s.
30s. Okay.
That's where the swing bands really got established, and then World War II.
But really picked up after the war, though. Didn't it?
Actually, it changed in tone. It went more into a big band sort of a, I want to say jazz sound, but this is where the Buddy Riches came out,
the
the Woody Hermans
a little bit,
and the Stan Kentons. Sound changed a little bit.
Yeah.
But we're going to stay real authentic with this show, though. This is going to be.
You're going to go pre-World War II with the sound.
Well, actually, there's a good segment of time right during World War II.
Right during the war.
Right during those. You got 4 years.
That's the sound that you want. Sorry. That's the sound that you want from your band, right?
Particularly for this event, we have a wide variety of music that we play, from salsa to standards to. Michael Bublé covers, and my gosh.
And it goes without saying, it's during the right era because you're out there with the backdrop being these World War II planes, right, Barbara?
Yes.
This is going to be fantastic. The tail fan, fan tail, the end of the plane, the back end. I'm not an aviator, but we're going to be tucked right up underneath that tail, and it's going to be just a fantastic setting, and people are going to just fall over.
Yeah, go ahead, Barbara. You want to chime in here?
I just wanted to say one of our committee members is a pilot, and she mentioned that there's no place more romantic than the airport at night. So this is going to be an airport at night, and going to be a romantic evening for people and a fun evening too.
And with that big band sound, it'll make it even more romantic to a certain extent, right?
Yes. Oh, you bet.
Right. You're going to dim the lights.
Well, the stars will be out. So.
Actually, we will.
You will dim the lights?
Yes, somewhere around 9:15.
Hey, we got
automatic
a call coming
dimming.
in. Let's see who this is. Could be the Bob Hope impersonator calling in. Let me see. Caller, you're on the air. Go ahead.
Yeah, I was a little girl in World War II, lived in Buena Park, and the styles of the women's clothes and the hair, it was just amazing. I had 5 relatives in the war. I had a cousin in the Navy, a cousin in Italy. I had one in the Pacific Rim, cousin, and then my mother's brother, well, that was him. There was one in a prison camp. They all came home safe, and one of my cousins sent me the most beautiful doll. But I love that kind of stuff, and I wondered if the girls in the band are the singers. She's going to have reverse curls or polka dot. I love my mother's polka dot dress. It was just amazing at the time there. And then the Douglas Aircraft, the women worked at Douglas Aircraft, and I was in one blackout in my life, and we went there to borrow a sewing machine, and the blackout came, and me and my cousin, she threw a blanket over me, and we was on top of the bed. We thought we were safe. It was so funny after I grew up a little bit and thought about it, but I think that's wonderful what you're doing.
Well, thank you.
Very wonderful.
Hey, thanks for the call. I appreciate that. That should warm your heart. Yeah, go ahead, Barbara.
I just wanted to mention that she mentioned the hairdos and also the dress. We are encouraging people to come dressed in costume for our event.
You mean dating or date themselves for the time period,
right?
Right. World War II, obviously the planes in the backdrop, and your big band.
So,
and you didn't mention so much the third act is the Blue Stars, which are bringing down a kind of an Andrews Sisters type of event, act. So I'm sure
impersonators.
Not really impersonators, but they do a lot of the Andrews Sisters songs, and I believe they come period dressed for that too.
Right.
So I mean, what an event! It's a great event. I mean, so you're gonna have the big band,
right?
You're gonna have the Bob Hope impersonator. You're gonna have dinner. Starts at 5:30. Castle Air Museum, September the 6th. It starts early evening and goes until when? Whenever.
11-ish.
10:30, 11. Yeah.
Okay. All right. We're back with Gus Wedemeyer. He's the big band leader, and Barbara Hoffman. She's the co-chair for the event. Phone calls 436-MeTV option 11. Back in a moment.
Considering solar? Whether you're ready to buy now or just exploring your options, the consultants at Solar Negotiators are here to help you. A call to Solar Negotiators is like calling 5 solar companies at once. You see, when local established solar contractors have gaps in their schedule, they call Solar Negotiators to fill them. Right now, get 5 years of panel cleaning and maintenance or $1,000 off your new solar panels. So stop wasting your time searching and call Solar Negotiators, because when contractors compete for your business, you win.
All right, so what do you think? Those were the good old days? Aren't we in the good old days now?
Every era is the good old days.
Yeah.
But we're just celebrating these particular good old days.
Yeah, but for our audience members, and many of them on MeTV, these shows, like Gunsmoke and Telly Savalas behind, it's my generation that watched these shows growing up, and that's, I guess the big band era, that's my parents' generation.
Exactly.
Pretty much, not my generation.
Right.
But I remember my parents playing these big, gigantic records of the big bands.
Sure.
So I don't know if any of those still exist, but
yeah,
But where
like
are you
Barbara would say, go to the internet. You can get everything there.
You know what? Everything is on the internet.
Exactly.
There isn't anything that you can't find on the internet.
Pretty
it's
much.
all there.
That's
it's
right.
all there. And so, where are you based?
We are based out of the Bay Area in general.
That's your main base.
Our main base is the Bay Area. The guys come from East Bay, down in Fremont, all the way down over to Livermore, up to Oakland, and we personally are based out of Alameda, California.
Yeah, okay. You mentioned that earlier, but I don't know if that was your permanent base. Is that's where you live, and then you travel around the state?
Well, this is probably as far as we've gotten out of our home base.
Really?
Come down to Atwater.
So you kind of stay in your own area, pretty much, and you're volunteering your time, right?
Right. We get over to the peninsula some, and yes, we bring this down for cost only. We're not making any money on this event. We're going to help out the museum as best we can.
How'd you guys hook up?
Well, you want to go through the Hornet aircraft carrier, actually.
Yeah, Joe gave me the information about the USS Hornet, and so I called them and talked with their entertainment person there and got in touch with Gus, and the rest is history.
Yeah, we've been on the Hornet for New Year's for the last 6 years. And be there
New
again,
Year's Eve.
New Year's Eve, right. So be there again. And as a matter of fact, the Blue Stars also have been with us.
What's the name of your band?
It is called 3 O'Clock Jump.
Okay, and how long have you been together?
We formed in 2005.
Okay.
And
what are the age groups of these band members?
Well, it goes pretty much the gamut. We've got an 82-year-old. And,
holy cow!
Yeah, plays piano like he was 75.
Yeah. Oh my God.
And then we come down to 30s, early 30s.
Really?
Year old, yeah.
You got some early 30s in there, huh?
Yeah, we're. It's just there's that apocryphal saying that there's only 2 kinds of music,
which are
good and bad. Okay. And so as long as you're doing,
and where do you fall in?
We aim for the good music, and it doesn't matter what age you are. If you like good music, that's where you go.
Yeah. So the event takes place on, again, almost out of time here. Just got a couple of minutes left. And anything you want to add here? September the 6th, 5:30. 400 tickets. They're $60 each. Again, the phone number, which you don't have memorized, by the way. So I'm a little surprised.
209 something. I don't know.
209 something or other. I can't remember what it is myself here. I have it written down. So 209-617-9171. So again, 209-617-9171. If you want to venture up north, about 45 minutes outside of Fresno, north of here on 99. What exit do you take, by the way, to get there?
Take the Buhack exit. It says Castle Airport. And follow the signs, and we are out actually on the airport. It's not at the museum, so people.
You're on the airport tarmac.
You bet.
Is that right? Where the planes are.
Right.
So you're not going to be at the museum, which is a little further away.
It's up by the highway. We're back in the back of the facility, and we are right out there. You have to go through a special gate to get to where our event is.
Do you need? You're not going to charge for parking, though, right?
No.
I mean, parking.
No.
You just go into the event. You have valet parking.
No, we won't have any valet. However, we are going to have the CHP Explorer Scouts working with us for directing traffic that evening.
Yeah, I know. The CHP is right close to Atwater. I know, because when I drive up to Sacramento, I've actually been stopped by the CHP right near Atwater. So I know the CHP office is right there. And they do a great job up there, so don't stop me. Unless I'm speeding. So the museum opens at what time? What time does everything open up? 5:30?
Our event opens at 5:30. Yeah, the gates open at 5:30.
Okay. All right. Well, you know what? I appreciate the time. Maybe, is it possible to end the show with that great big band sound? Or can we go out on that? Yeah. Why not? Barbara Hoffman, thank you very much.
Thank you, John.
Gus Wedemeyer, good luck. Good to see you.
Thanks for having me.
And living in the East Bay, I imagine you're an A's fan, right?
Oh, absolutely. Couldn't get away with it.
They're in second, but the big series with the Angels starts tonight, 4-game series.
You better be there.
Okay. Barbara, Gus, thank you so much. And thanks to Joe Pruzzo of the Castle Air Museum. That's going to do it for us. Another edition. We've got 2 more guests coming your way tomorrow on Connect with Me. See you then. Have a great day.